In a quiet hamlet tucked away among fog-draped peaks and sprawling woodlands, there lived a humble man called Edmund. Throughout the community, he had earned a reputation for his generous spirit and willingness to help anyone in need. Edmund saw the world through hopeful eyes. He believed deeply in humanity's better nature and extended his trust freely to those around him. Little did he know that his open heart would soon face its greatest challenge. One autumn afternoon, a well-dressed outsider named Marcus made his way into the hamlet. His smooth words and confident manner quickly won over the locals. Marcus introduced himself as a merchant, offering rare goods at prices that seemed too good to be true. The townspeople, Edmund included, found themselves drawn to Marcus's magnetic personality. He had a gift for making people feel special, for saying exactly what they wanted to hear. Before long, Marcus had formed a particularly close bond with Edmund. He became a regular visitor at Edmund's modest home, sharing evening meals and spinning tales of profitable opportunities that lay just beyond the horizon. Edmund felt blessed to have gained such a worldly and knowledgeable companion. When Marcus proposed they join forces in a promising enterprise, one that would bring prosperity to everyone involved, Edmund listened with growing excitement. "This opportunity won't wait forever," Marcus urged, his eyes gleaming with apparent sincerity. "Together, we can build something remarkable." Though a small voice inside whispered caution, Edmund silenced it. After all, hadn't Marcus earned the respect of the entire community? Hadn't he proven himself trustworthy time and again? The proposed venture required significant capital. Edmund, dreaming of providing security for his loved ones, made the difficult decision to commit his entire nest egg. Savings he'd accumulated through years of hard work. His enthusiasm proved contagious. Edmund convinced several neighbors to contribute their own funds, assuring them that Marcus's plan was solid and that prosperity awaited them all. As autumn gave way to winter, Marcus's demeanor shifted. He became evasive when asked about their progress. His visits grew infrequent, his explanations vague and rehearsed. One cold evening, Edmund arrived at Marcus's lodgings, determined to get answers. What he found instead was an abandoned room, stripped bare of all possessions. Marcus had vanished, and with him, every penny they had invested. The devastating truth crashed over Edmund like an icy wave. He'd been played for a fool. But worse than his own loss was the realization that he led others into this trap. The neighbors who trusted his judgment now looked at him with anger and disappointment. Some spoke to him harshly. Others simply stopped speaking to him at all. Edmund, standing in the community, crumbled overnight. But Edmund refused to let shame paralyze him. He made a solemn vow. He would find Marcus and recover what had been stolen or die trying. His pursuit led him far from home, across dangerous mountain passes, and through unfamiliar territories. In each new settlement, he asked questions, showed Marcus's description, and slowly pieced together a trail. The search consumed months of his life. His funds ran low. His body grew weary. But his determination never wavered. Finally, in a prosperous city several hundred miles from his village, Edmund spotted a familiar face in a bustling square. Marcus, now calling himself by another name, dressed in fine clothes and living comfortably off his ill-gotten gains. Edmund didn't hesitate. He confronted Marcus directly, his voice carrying across the crowded marketplace. "You stole from honest people who trusted you. That ends today." Marcus tried to slip away through the crowd, but Edmund's accusations had drawn attention. City guards intervened, and when Edmund explained the situation, they detained Marcus for questioning. The legal process that followed was long and exhausting, but Edmund persisted, presenting evidence and testimony until justice could no longer be denied. Marcus was convicted, and Edmund managed to reclaim a portion of the stolen funds. Though not everything could be recovered, when Edmund returned home, he distributed the recovered money among his neighbors as fairly as he could. The amounts weren't what they'd lost, but it was something. More importantly, it was a gesture of accountability and remorse. The experience had transformed Edmund fundamentally. His optimistic nature remained, but it was now tempered with discernment. He'd learned that kindness need not mean naivety, and that trust should be built on evidence, not assumption. As years passed, Edmund became a respected voice of wisdom in the hamlet. Young people sought his counsel, and he freely shared the lessons he learned through painful experience. Trust is valuable precisely because it's fragile, he would tell them. Give it thoughtfully, protect it carefully, and never confuse blind faith with genuine virtue. His story spread throughout the region, not as a tale of victimhood, but as one of resilience and growth. Edmund had taken his greatest failure and forged it into wisdom that benefited his entire community. The hamlet itself changed too. People remained kind and welcoming, but they also became more watchful, more questioning. They learned to balance openness with prudence. And Edmund, once known simply as a kind man who helped everyone, became known as something more, the wise man who turned betrayal into enlightenment, teaching others to walk the careful line between trust and caution. His legacy wasn't the money he'd lost or even the money he'd recovered. It was the understanding that spread through his community like ripples across still water, that wisdom isn't born from avoiding mistakes, but from learning deeply from the ones we make.